All right, well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Today, as you guys can see from the title, we are going to be going over the process of actually how I got this car. I know a lot of you that are watching this video are probably in the market for one, and you're probably pretty serious about wanting one if you're watching this video right now. So I wanted to share with you guys how I actually went about obtaining this car, all of the process that I went through, even my thought process of why I even decided to do it in the first place, and hopefully give you guys some hope, encourage you guys. I want to be really transparent in this video and just share with you that it's possible to get one of these cars right now, even though it seems so impossible, especially in the market that we're in right now. So let's hop right into it, guys, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so hopping right into it, my actual thought process from the very beginning of all of this was I wasn't specifically looking for a Kona N. I was actually just going to start looking for cars in general that I'd maybe be interested in, because I was going over mileage on my lease that I was in with that Civic that I mentioned in the previous video. I was going over mileage, and then it was also not specifically like a car that I just could see myself wanting to buy out at the end of my lease. So I decided, let me just start looking. I'm not, committing to anything. There's no pressure or anything. I just want to kind of look. So that's actually how all of this started. And as soon as I actually saw the Hyundai Kona N, I was like, dude, this car is sweet. And it's honestly like my dream car. Like, it's so perfect. I've always wanted like a sporty SUV. Not just like a hatchback like I'd always had. I'd already had a few hatchbacks in the past, but I was like, man, this car is sweet. And like, it was like that moment of like, this is the one for me, and I'm kind of gonna do whatever it takes to get it. So as you guys can imagine, once I actually saw this car and found out that it exists and that there was actually some in my local inventory in Ohio, I started looking into it, and I did find that there were like, I don't know, I think there were maybe 6 in the state at the time. So right away I was thinking like, man, this might be really, really hard to get. Like, it was, super low in inventory. Not a lot of dealerships were actually going to be having any like built or shipped to their dealership. So I was really trying to think of ways to, actually get my hands on one and test drive one. I did find 2 that were pretty close to me. I found one, that was about an hour away, and then I found another one that was 2 hours away. The one that was 2 hours away was actually ended up being the car that I'm sitting in right now that I was able to test drive for the very first time. But what I did was I decided I was just going to go for it and just, drive there and test drive it. But the very first thing that I did, and I want to make sure you guys do, is do tons of research. Watch videos like this. Watch videos all around. See what the car that you're sitting in right now is worth. Okay, that's going to be one of the biggest things, especially if you're in a lease. It's actually a great time, a great opportunity to capitalize on the equity in your car, because you will, if you're in a lease right now, you will get 20 to 30% more for your trade-in. That's what I did, and I wasn't even at the end of my lease. I still had an entire year left on there. But I was going over mileage, and that wasn't a car that I thought I was going to want to keep. So I decided to try to capitalize on the moment, and it really worked out for me. So I drove there after doing lots of research, figuring out what my car was worth. And then I test drove the car. I absolutely fell in love with it even more than just seeing it on, the internet, pictures of it on the internet. I actually got to drive it, and as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, I'm buying this car. I remember literally sitting in the car, and when I was done test driving, and I was like, I'm buying this car today. Like, I literally said it out loud. Long story short, I didn't buy it that day. We couldn't get the numbers to work out. But so I actually drove 2 hours back home. I was kind of discouraged, but I knew this was the car that I wanted. And just like you guys, if you're watching this video and this is the car that you know that you want, like my biggest motivation to you guys is just be persistent. Like, don't give up. The market wants to say this, or other YouTubers want to say like, it's not possible right now, or you can't get a good deal on it. I got a great deal on mine, and I've heard of other people even getting it for under sticker. I saw someone commented on a video recently and said they got this car for like $32,700 or something, which is ridiculous. I don't know how they did that, but kudos to you if you're watching. Great job. And I'm happy you stayed persistent, because it's 100% worth it. But I also want to mention, like, don't pay over sticker for this, guys. Hyundai made this car for a specific set price, and that's what this car is worth. You're not getting anything extra for, the 5 to 10 grand people are paying over. So that's my first tip. Stay persistent and do your research and know what you want, and just go for it, guys. All right, so something else that I did want to mention for you guys that will probably be pretty helpful is the fact that there is so much room in these deals for this car. And what I mean by that is they're probably, like, if you're looking into leasing this car or buying it out or whatever, the first pencil that they give you is going to be a number that is just stupidly high. And I mean, they're going to do that no matter where you go. But what I want you guys to know is, and this is coming from someone who worked in a dealership, probably 90% of people that buy cars are very intimidated, but also they don't understand that there's so much room in these deals. I mean, dealerships are constantly profiting anywhere between like $6 or $7 grand. I mean, even sometimes $15,000 on a car, which is ridiculous. So there's room in these deals. And if these dealerships are making all this extra money from all these cars being sold over MSRP right now, they can afford to lose out a little bit on selling you a Kona N. And that's part of me telling you guys to be persistent. Like, even if you even have to be that customer that the salesmen talk about at the end of the day when no one's there, like, so what? Who cares what they think about you? You're spending your hard-earned money. So just keep in mind that they're not taking that big of a loss, because these dealerships just make a ton of money. All right, now the other thing that I want to make sure I don't fail to mention is what I sort of already mentioned previously about leasing a car. Okay, so this was one of the biggest things that actually allowed me to get into this car at such a great price. So I was actually in my Civic, and I wanted to make sure that I was, aware of how much my car was actually worth. So when the dealership came to me, with offering me 21 grand for it, I knew that it was worth way more than that. So completely honest, I actually ended up getting them to give me, I think, what was it? It was either 28 or 29,000 for the Civic, which is, I think, like 3 or 4 grand more than it cost brand new. So all of that positive equity that I had rolled over into my deal, to where this car was listed for over sticker, but it didn't matter because I got it for literally under sticker because of that amount of equity that I had. Like, I literally I think I owed 19 on it. So I literally had I think I had 9 grand in equity in that car, which is insane. That rolled right over into this deal, and I got an incredible deal on it. So if you're someone that's leasing right now, make sure that you take your time and do your research and you really capitalize on this moment, because who knows, it could get worse, it could get better, but we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what tomorrow holds. So don't waste a day. If this is the car you want, find one in your local inventory and do whatever it takes to get it. The other thing that I want to make sure to mention for you guys is in terms of talking about leasing. So I know that a lot of times people are right now running into problems with trying to trade out of their lease into something different. The corporations are, the makes are just saying, like, you can't do that for some reason. And I just want to make sure you guys are aware that that's actually completely false, and it's actually illegal. If you guys are trying to trade out of a lease and get into a Kona N, and the dealership that you're trying to work with is saying that they can't do that, that you'll have to take your car to the place that you got it from, or that dealership, say it's a Honda, you got to take it to a Honda dealership and then have them buy it out. That's not true. They can take your car on trade, and all you have to do, my best recommendation for this is actually to contact whatever corporation it is that you're working with. So, in this instance, I'll use Honda. Contact Honda and talk to whatever representative you need to talk to, and ask them where in your lease agreement it says that you cannot capitalize on this market. Where in your lease agreement it says you can't trade in your car to capitalize on the equity. Literally all they're wanting to do is capitalize on it themselves, and they don't want the consumer to capitalize because it's going to cost them money, and it might even cost them a customer, a loyal customer. Because, like, again, my whole family and me, like, I was literally in Hondas my whole life. That was like the number one car that we always got, and now I did this, and now I'm in a Hyundai, and they just don't want you to capitalize on that as a consumer. But we're the ones buying these vehicles. We're the ones paying out of our pocket to actually purchase them. So we should definitely be allowed to capitalize on this. And I just want to encourage you guys and let you know that you literally can. It is possible. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. Dealerships, I know because I worked at one, they can sometimes be really intimidating, and it can just feel like you're annoying them or something, or you're that type of customer that's going to price shop and this and that. But this is your hard-earned money that you're spending, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're getting a deal that you're okay with, that's not going to make your stomach turn when you drive out of that dealership. So I hope this has been encouraging for you guys, and I hope that you guys really can take this and maybe apply it to your own search for this car. I know right now it's not the easiest car to come by, but I want you guys to know, you know, Hyundai is still going to be making this car. Like, if you go to all you have to do is go to HyundaiUSA.com, find the Kona N on there, and then go down, scroll all the way down, and it should say like shop dealer inventory. And you can see like within a 50 or 100 or 150 mile radius where you can actually find this car. So a lot of them, it'll even show like if one's gonna be like built and sent to the dealership at a specific, you know, later date. So that can give you kind of an idea to keep your eyes on those vehicles that are incoming, not just the ones that are at the dealerships right now. But it's not impossible, guys, and I just want to encourage you, if this is the car you know you want, just do it. Go be persistent. I was persistent. It didn't work out the first few times, but I went to this dealership 2 hours away, it didn't work out. I went to another dealership an hour away, it didn't work out. I used all the numbers from that second dealership to text my guy at the other dealership that I originally went to, and that sparked the conversation to where I actually finally got the deal that I got on this, and I couldn't be happier with this car. I couldn't be happier with driving it every day. I mean, it's literally, for me, I know this might sound crazy, but it's the car of my dreams. I don't want a Lambo or anything. It's perfect for me. It's practical, it's so fun to drive, and it's super comfortable, and it looks so cool. The style and everything, it's perfect for me. So if that's the same idea you've got, and say it's not even just for a Kona, maybe you're looking for a Veloster and a Elantra or whatever, I mean, you guys can do it. It's more possible than it seems, and I want to really ingrain that in your mind so you guys don't get hopeless. Because I know when it first didn't work out for me, I was pretty frustrated driving home. It was a whole 2-hour drive back home without the car that I wanted. But I was persistent, and over, I think, a 3-day period, I finally got this car. So if you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out, I would just really appreciate a like, subscribe, comment, you know, if this is something you're looking into. Comment what kind of purchase you guys made, what kind of deal you guys got on the car. I'm interested to hear about that. So I will see you guys in the next one, and thanks for watching as always. See you guys. All right, so before we go, I actually didn't want to forget to show you guys just a few tiny little accessories that we got for the car. It's nothing big. I do kind of feel like the smallest upgrades make the biggest difference sometimes, though, so it'll be cool to kind of put our first few little things on the car. But the first is actually going to be some of these little N logo valve stem caps. So I actually feel like Hyundai kind of could have just put these on the car in the first place from the factory, but they didn't. So I thought this would be a cool little accessory to throw in the car and just, you know, make a little bit of a difference how it looks out there. Then the other thing is actually going to be this right here. So I'm actually not sure what to call it, but this is actually like a cover for the door lock mechanism on the door jamb. So I can actually show you guys right where it goes. If we open the door here, so it'll go right here, actually, right around that little hook that latches the door shut. And I'll be throwing that onto each side, each door lock. And I actually think that that'll look pretty good. Just add a little bit of style to this part of the car as well. So we're gonna throw those on and kind of wrap it up from there. Just wanted to show you guys that I also ended up getting a little N logo keychain for the key. I think it looks pretty nice. It actually feels really nice. It's made like of a suede material. So again, just another little thing to add as an accessory. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, just again, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And just for fun, let's do a few exhaust clips real quick because this thing's insane. you.